Hi, Heathens.
Hello, Heathens.
Hi, friends. Today's episode's kind of light and easy because we've been taking it pretty hot and heavy for a hot minute, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
most of this rest of the season, the rest of this year, is going to be pretty hot and heavy till like the end of the year. But we've give you guys a soft intro at this point, so you guys ready to dive in deep and keep going
Dive
and keep
deep.
going, and
Let's dive deep.
we're gonna find Atlantis.
Oh, I like it.
Me
I
too.
like it.
Oh man, last week's episode was fucking awesome.
Oh my God, I love Mara.
I love that woman. I hope you guys really like that episode. If you didn't catch it, please listen to it because like that she's inspiring. You know what I mean? She's inspirational in the best possible way.
Absolutely. Especially in a field like I feel like I said last time, is that I always have tried to keep one foot in the now and one foot like in the spiritual or, the unseen. And
Yes.
I feel like she walks the walk too, which is really nice to meet another practitioner that like can stay grounded during all of this stuff.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
I know it's hard, right?
Fuck yeah, it is, dude. All I want to do is live in a fantasy world. Are you joking?
Oh, every day.
It's hard to stay here sometimes. And then there's these things that happen that make you realize like humans are still humans.
Humans are still humans.
We went to Santa Monica since we have talked to you guys last to see one of our dear friends, Kevin, and it was amazing to see him and his growth. And
Oh man, talk the growth and inspiration of like chasing your dreams and all of that, like stuff that you always hear in movies that are inspired by, song and
that love and light
story.
shit.
Yeah, yeah. And like to see somebody that we know dearly that like to just do it is really amazing actually.
Yeah. All my Santa Monica people. Love you guys for listening. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Santa Monica. Couldn't do it.
Mm,
They
I
want,
agree. Santa Monica likes to teach me lessons. And not
yeah.
only did we experience body dysmorphia going out there, then we experienced like, well, for me, I remember at one point being like, what am I doing with my life?
Man, we had a whole thing, you guys. Some
Oh
girl
yeah.
tried to pull me back into, there was a point in time, I will let you guys know when your girl was a little ghetto and she liked to fight. Not anymore. Proud of myself. Not
I was
anymore.
I was proud of
But
you.
oh God, Sam Maka was trying to pull me back into the deep end of not being a
Yeah.
kosher person, and I almost slipped and fell. I was right there on the edge. One little whisper of wind would have pushed me, and like I feel like every time I've been out to California, man, it's always been something like something that like either hits you back into reality or brings you back into the world where you're like, holy shit, like I forgot about that. Or like it just it's a whole thing. Like Nicole's had spiritual awakenings almost every time we've been in California.
At some point, I swear to you guys, at some point, I'm sitting on a curb somewhere crying my eyes out, either confessing my soul that I feel everything to people that I hold
Anybody that'll
very dear,
listen.
right?
Yeah,
Right. The right
really.
people. Let's just say the right people listened at the
Yeah,
right time, right?
right.
And or like what was this last time crying about like thought I had ruined everything and like I'm like, oh my God, my ego. And you know what it was? I traveled it all the way down to abandonment issues and I was like, fuck.
Fuck. See, that's the other thing though, where it's like I feel like California, you just can't go there without being told about yourself or something you need to fix or something that comes back up there
Mm-hmm.
like, holy shit, I forgot about that. And that's exactly what happened. This girl tried to fight us. I'm almost 30, Nicole's 46, and some young girl comes up trying to fight us. And I was like,
There was seven of us. It was so
dude,
weird. I was like, is she all over a phone? Dude, all over a
all of
phone.
our phone. Apparently we stole her phones. I mean, we are heathens, so but like
Heathens.
that's the wrong kind of heathen, I think, for what we try to go for. So
Well, the greatest thing, I don't know, like, because I know, like, I saw her messing with you and I turned around and of course, like, girls, we're drunk. We are drunk at this point. We had a great day. We
Dude,
hung out with our friend Jake.
we
And
had
then,
fucking McDonald's loaded and ready to be ordered. That's
oh my
how drunk
God,
we were. We were just
we were
waiting to start
so
walking back to the
ready.
hotel, you
Yes,
guys.
I forgot
Oh, I
about
was so
that.
pissed about that. Oh my God. I'm
Oh,
like, I didn't get to eat again because of that bitch. I did get targeted though, and it made me realize, you know what it made me realize is like, holy shit, like I have a lot of people that really do care about me. Because when I tell you guys this all started because this girl was targeting me and people were trying to protect me, it's really cool to realize the good in it where it was like, oh my God, people do love me and care about me. I don't have to be something else that I'm not. And I was like, all
right.
right, thanks, California, I
Or
guess.
even not by yourself. You weren't by yourself. You
No,
had your literally like spirit posse with you, like, and they all showed up, right? Like,
fuck
it was
yeah.
a great representation of like when you think about, I don't know, metaphorically of like walking with your spirit team, right? Like, we say that a lot. And now looking at it, it's so funny because it really was a manifestation of a spirit team, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I felt safe. I felt comforted. And then we had met this random guy that was a fucking angel in disguise.
Dude.
He was amazing. When I was like, I was still, I told Nicole it's like that back burner that you never use anymore. But oh man, the tick, tick, tick of it trying to light was a few more ticks and it would have lit. And this guy, I couldn't take care of Nicole. I couldn't. I tried and then I couldn't. I was too fired up, man. And this
She
guy
was
was
hot.
just, I was spicy. Oh, your girl was spicy.
Mhm.
But that guy was awesome, dude, and gave Nicole some of the best advice that she still has. Like, I mean,
I've been
we're not
using it
that far away
daily.
from that, but
No,
still, you're using it every day.
daily. Anytime I get nervous, anything I got, any kind of anxiety that comes up. And all he told me was never let him see you sweat. That's all he told me. And I've been using that affirmation since then.
It's helping.
It really has.
Yeah, so I guess to say the least, Santa Monica was a whole thing. It was great to see Kevin. He's amazing. We love you, Kevin.
Love you, Kevin.
But California never it never lets you leave unscathed.
Ain't that the truth? It's the
I also
truth.
feel like I'm still recovering because you guys jet lag is fucking real and your girls were staying up for almost 24 hours at a time.
Oh yeah, that
Who
first
did we
night
think we were?
we were up 24 hours. And then the second night, not the second night, because the second night we went to bed early.
Thank God.
The night of the party, we were up until 4:30.
4:30. Jordan was going to work, you guys, in the morning here. And I was just getting back to the hotel waiting for McDonald's to come because we still fucking order McDonald's.
We still fucking
We
ordered
needed food.
McDonald's.
Oh,
Then I ordered it wrong, but that was okay.
it was fine. At least we had food. I was just thankful for food because honestly, we didn't eat and like we ate around noon that day. You guys,
Yeah, we talked about that because like everywhere they had food at the salon, but they were supposed to have food at the other place. By the time we got to the other place, not only did they not have food, but then the grills were down too. We should have just ordered McDonald's then too.
that's true.
Grubhub is amazing, by the way. I want everybody to know.
Yeah, we figured we'd let you guys in on where our lives have been lately because
Oh,
we decided we're gonna start doing staycations. I mean, we're taking time off and
we
staying
did.
home.
We did say that. I was like, oh, I'll tell you what though, traveling, you know how traveling's hard and stuff, but man, you and I and even Trinity, the baby, like we're all right on the same page. Like we got home that one night and it was 6:30. And dude, we stayed in bed and watched Twilight. Oh, the other thing that always happens is
Yes.
on TV, we always either see Harry Potter or we see Twilight. Those are the two things that
Fuck
are
yeah,
always
dude.
on the show.
It's so great. We'll be like, I'm like, oh, you think one of those on? Every trip we've been on
Every
there has
trip.
been Twilight and or Harry Potter, and it has been amazing. That night that
It's
we
so
stayed in, dude,
true.
Nicole and I watched two full Twilight movies, and we were trying real hard to stay up for Breaking Dawn Part 2, but
Right, because that
whew,
Breaking Dawn Part 2 is my favorite.
it's the best one.
And I
You
couldn't.
imprinted on my baby.
Uh,
It's the best part of the whole series. You can't hurt
you got
her.
some wolfy claim over her. My heart. I love it.
Me too. And then I was laughing, you guys, because it's like Nicole and I act like we haven't seen these movies like 100 times. Nicole
Ever.
watches
Right.
them every year for her birthday. Her birthday's the first of the year, and she watches it from the break of dawn to midnight past. She finishes all of them.
All of them right in a row.
We act like we
Boom,
haven't
boom,
seen
boom,
them.
boom.
We couldn't miss it.
Should I think last year too, I started reading the first book again because I hadn't read the books in so long and I forgot so much. Like
Yeah.
they miss so much in it that I forget.
Yeah, I haven't read the book since I was like in high school. Well, that'd be a good read. Okay, well, we're here for a
Okay.
reason other than to just talk about our lives. So there was that little
There
section.
goes that. See, even heathens get in fights when they go out.
Listen, I didn't get in the fight though. I was very proud of myself. I was
No,
close, but I didn't start it.
we walked away. We walked away.
Yeah, I felt like a big kid. It's like, wow, maybe I am the adult.
We are. We were the ones not. The fight happened anyway.
True. She got what she wanted. Fucked
She
around,
did.
found out, dude.
She fucked around and found out.
Not our problem. All right, anyways. So today's episode is about deities.
Deities.
I don't think this is going to be an extremely long episode, you guys, because
Man.
truly, I think Nicole and I have both come out to the conclusion that we can give you some steps to start, but really you have to do the work, you have to do the research, dude. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think with deities, there's a lot of research with it. Because you really have to know who you're talking to.
100%. Yeah, I mean, deeply no, you guys. This is like, I saw one person, I have it in there somewhere, but I remembered this because I thought this was actually a good idea. Is they were saying that you should research them for a month to 2 months because you really need to let this shit like sink in. It's not something you just read once and you do it and you're good to go. This is stuff you really got to let like marinate so you can start really create a connection if you want to work with deities. Deities also meaning gods and goddesses, because I didn't realize that not everybody knows that word. But when Jordan today asked me what we were going to be recording, and I said deities before he left, he goes, I'm just going to pretend like I know what that means. Wait, now everybody knows what deity means?
I know that's what I was thinking too, but I swear to you, I think I had this exact same conversation with Rob. I was like, he's like, what's the podcast on? And I go, deities. He's like, what's a deity?
So I
I
do
was like,
have on
oh,
here what it is.
good. Because I was like, I think I looked it up too.
Yeah, because it threw me, you guys. I guess like let's be honest, Nicole and I are sometimes a little like out of touch with, it's that thing that we talk about often where it's like once you start getting your PhD, man, it is hard to go back down to basic math. But that's what's great for her and I having our partners be so earthly is like they bring us back down to the basic math. And I'm like, oh shit. I don't even think about like defining what a deity is because I just know what it is. And I assume people around me know what it is. But honestly, when I'm talking to most people, they're spiritual now,
Right.
So
Well, deities is one of those things that we throw around like it's just a regular word. Like you just think of deities as being deities instead of saying because it's shorter than goddess or goddess or goddess, and it's somebody else put in there that it's like kind of like ambiguous or
androgynous.
androgynous.
That's why I like it too, is because it's like the androgynous form of a god or goddess. Like it's not specifying gender behind it.
Right.
Because like some of them are hermaphrodites.
Right.
They have both energies. So.
Both. I've noticed that with demons too. When I do research on it, some of them come in as feminine qualities and sometimes or even like a feminine body or look with a male voice too. I've heard that happening.
Demons.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're only talking about
Sorry,
deities.
Nicole's triggering everybody. We're not talking about
Sorry.
that,
I'm
Nicole.
sorry.
Okay, so I guess the best place to start is a deity is a supernatural being like a god or goddess or a god or goddess that is worshipped by people who believes it controls or exerts forces over some aspect of the world. It can also like represent archetypal energy, right? So like the energy in all things such as forest plants, ocean, moons. But it's your choice how you like to see them.
What does archetypal mean?
It's like the archetype, like meaning like the moon has an archetype behind it. So a deity that represents the moon.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. I guess I'll look up the definition for you because like I got nothing else for you, Holmes.
That's another one of those words where I'm like, what is archetype? Because that's another one that I think I know the definition, but like,
Yeah, the definition literally says it's very typical of a certain kind of person or thing. So, like, a goddess that represents the moon is the archetype of the moon.
oh, okay.
It's like it's just a representation of it. So, like, some of us, like you and I do this, where it's like we think gods and goddess energy is already within us, and we
Mm-hmm.
use that to pull it out, right? It's
Yes.
kind of like that same thing. So that's the archetype of that energy for us.
Okay.
Like Medusa was like my stronghold, my strength, like where I gained a lot of strength from. That was
Right.
she was the Gorgon within.
The Gorgon.
The Gorgon within.
Yes, yes. Fine, fine.
So yeah, that's when I say like it's all your choice, you guys, like it really is. You could view it as an entity completely outside of your body that has its own energy that is helping you. You could view it as a tree, like if you know that's representative of a tree, you could quote unquote worship the deity through the tree. I mean, like you can view it as an energy within you that you're pulling out. It's really this is why this episode, like we said, you're gonna need to do a lot of research for yourself because it's hard to tell you how you're gonna feel about it or what you're gonna believe.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of the stuff, like you have to, um, it's all over the place. You start doing research on it and working with deities, not working with deities, like, it's really up to you. And a lot of the research that I looked at, like the videos that were on YouTube and um TikTok, those two, I mean, it was very vague stuff that I was really, because I was looking, I was like, are there rules? Are there like, things that I'm supposed to do, not supposed to do? Now, I don't live my life like that, but like I figured that the listeners would, because I always don't understand stuff like that. Like I've worked with Hecate for since I've gotten into witchcraft, basically. But it's not like she's like a buddy. Like I never call on her for anything. She's just always there, right? And she guides me intuitively or whatever. I've never been like, oh, I'm gonna worship and, ask them for things. And like I've never had that kind of relationship with them. So for me it was an interesting like deep dive to like, but it was really vague on the stuff that I found.
Right. I was like, I had to do some deep digging too, because there were a few like quote unquote rules, maybe more guidelines that I would absolutely
Yeah.
agree with. And one of them was being try working with one deity at a time. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you've established a connection with them, you can work with as many as you'd like. But honestly, you guys, that's kind of how it goes for anything in this world, is you want to do things in increments and not like try to do it all at once and you try to do it all in one day. It's not a race, you know what I mean? So once you've
Mm-hmm.
learned with one and you've gotten that good connection going, so now you kind of have a feeling of what it feels like to work with a deity, then working with as many as you want. But I'd say that's a good starting point and a good guideline.
Yeah,
Start
that's
with one.
a start with one. You want to be like respectful and you want to treat them how you would treat a friend, like a really good friend, right?
Yeah.
So, you want to get to know them. What are their favorite things? Like, um, never, be rude, or it's that kind of thing that you're really, if it's coming from within, you're really talking to an aspect of yourself, and you would want to treat yourself with respect and kindness and um all that stuff to establish a connection to that inner part of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cause like here's a personal thing that happened to me that just hit me in the face. And I can't believe I didn't think about this until we were talking about it. Of course. Thank you. But I remember when okay, at one time I worked with or I was trying to work and establish a connection with Medusa. Now that didn't go the way I thought it was going to because Medusa is a whole thing. Um, then I got this book about the Morgan, which is hard. They are hard to explain because there's multiple within the one Morgan.
Hmm.
That's a whole nother story. Do your research and you'll know what I mean, because like it's hard. But I remember when I was reading this book about the Morgan that I had gotten, and I did not realize I already have a strong connection with a goddess deity that has already claimed me. And I didn't realize it until that night when I went to sleep and I got a dream about it. And it was like, I really was like looking at the Morgan, reading about her, getting very curious about her because I had kept seeing stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe I should try to like connect with her. Lilith had already claimed me. And she made it very apparent in my dream because I could not believe it, the confusion that was happening, but also the clarity behind the confusion. I was like, yeah, we're going to put that book down. I
Mm.
still have it and I haven't finished it, but I'm like, we don't need that. But I forgot about that happening because I was like, it's not something that it has become something that was so consistent in my life that now I don't think
Right.
about giving to her. There's times where I'm like, I will very consciously be like, this one's for you. This is for you. Take this as an
Yeah.
offering.
Hmm.
But then most of the time, it's just kind of there in the back of my head of like, she's going to take some of this energy right now. And I'm totally okay with it because the things I'm
Yeah.
receiving in return are great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know
That's
why
a,
that
I
came up,
don't
but
know. No, that's a great story. No, it's a great story because, like, even if you're starting to, like, all right, maybe this one's it or maybe that one's it, and we talk about it in our heads a lot, overthink it and all that kind of stuff. And it's a good confirmation of, like, oh, just kidding. We're going to go back over here.
I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I did know, but I didn't know.
That just confirmed it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I was like, and I'm done. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
I'm
I'm
right there.
sorry.
I'm right there. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I never left.
Well, and I like the biggest one that I like so far is that people are like, if you are into a god or a goddess, and it could be there's different pantheons for every of it, or all
All of
sorts
it.
of like, yeah. Um, I tend to lean more towards Greek stuff. Um, and then angels,
I
those
lean
ones are,
more towards Egyptian usually,
mm-hmm,
and then
mm-hmm.
Lilith. I don't know where she came from. She just came. So
Uh, I haven't gotten in, yeah, because I've got, and then, our favorite. What's that tune thing that we look at on, it's a
Ghost Tube.
graphic novel?
Oh, oh, not Ghost Tube.
No.
A god graphic novel.
No, Lore Olympus.
Oh my gosh, you guys on Webtoon.
Yeah, that's it.
It's
That's it.
for basically small creators that are making what the hell are they called? Manga.
Oh,
And
manga.
yeah, we both found this at the same time but didn't
We
know.
did not.
Lore Olympus, it's about
Hmm.
Persephone and Hades and their like relationship. It's so good. It's so good.
It's
I
so good.
I
Oh,
God, I love it. I'm sure a lot of people actually know about it because I felt like it got pretty
it
big.
got big pretty fast. Yeah, because there's books out now instead of it
There's
just being,
books.
yeah. Oh
They're
my
like
god,
my prized possession.
I love the way she looks. I mean the way she's drawn them. I love their characters. Like
Their
it comes out
personalities.
every Saturday. We get a little more of it.
My
I've
favorite.
cried during it.
Oh my god, me too. That yeah, that's been a good one because for a while too, Nicole had a really strong affinity towards Persephone.
Yeah, I love Persephone.
Yeah.
Persephone is one of those ones where I'm like, God, to be, I don't know, a contradiction where it's life versus death in one deity. I mean, and there's a bunch of deities that do that kind of work, but like she not only makes things grow and fertilizes it and propagates it, but then she can destroy and make it die at the same time. And it's like, and she's married to Hades, which I like working with him too.
Oh yeah. I've never really worked with Hades, but I will say, as many of you know, I had a fire in my apartment a couple years ago, and the week before, Hades came to me to warn me, and I was not aware of enough to know at the time that that's what was happening until after when I was like, "Holy shit, this happened."
Right, right.
And I was like, "It just hit me. That's what happened." And I was like, "Oh my God, I would have known about it if I." Yeah, sometimes God's like pop up in your head and like
Yeah.
they'll like give you visions or and you won't even know where it's coming from until it happens and then you realize it. And it's so cool. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
because Dionysus and Aphrodite reached out to me just recently. They brought me a client who's heavily working with them, and I was so excited because both of them approved me to do her hair. So I was really like honored that like, and sometimes you get nervous doing a project on somebody and stuff like that. Like halfway through it, start overthinking whatever, right? And I remember being like, "No, they already approved me to do this. So they
Hmm.
already know that it's gonna turn out great. And once I already know that it's gonna turn out great, then it doesn't matter what I'm doing right now because it's just all gonna work out."
Well, and on
Uh,
top of it, I remember seeing her for the first and only time. And of course, she works with them. She is stunning.
yeah,
Stunning. Oh
yeah.
God. I was like, don't look at me, you're too pretty.
And
So pretty.
she's so smart and so bubbly that it's definitely like one of those like very much of this like Aphrodite Dionysus energy, which it was a privilege to have Dionysus like come out to me because Aphrodite we kind of know like some of the lore and stuff like that, but I had even looked up some of the stuff about her too because you know it's not just what we think we know about her. There's so much more. There's depth to it, right?
Yeah, with every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The stories are usually pretty fucking intense, and then there's all like
Yeah,
all the things that usually go along with them, there's stories behind it. I don't know if you guys remember when we were talking crystals, herbs, and intentions,
that's
like
right.
the reason why we have rose quartz is because Aphrodite bled on a quartz.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's one of my like now it's like one that's just burned in my brain. I love
Oh my
that.
God. We should go get tattoos of blood droplets.
Okay, I was gonna say like a blood, like we're just
I was like, I
like
don't
we
know.
don't look goth enough. Let's get some
All right.
blood on
I just
us.
need to I just need to get more blood tattoos.
So if all of this conversation so far hasn't told you guys why you would choose to work with the deity, I mean, everybody's reason can be different, but like once you
Mm-hmm.
establish a relationship with them, they can assist you in all of your workings, all of them, regardless of what they are, where they come from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can also like offer clarity and comfort and strength in times of need. Like they can be, it's an energy that you're working with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you get to a point of knowing with them, you could see them, hear them, feel them.
Absolutely. They could be like that imaginary, I'm going to say imaginary friend when you were little and you were alone and you needed somebody to like talk to that understood you.
Yes.
They're, it's a kind of along that same energy of like having someone that is connected to a higher source of knowledge, that has been around. Their egregore has been around for centuries, right?
Heck yeah.
So they just know more and they see life in a bigger, different kind of picture because they've been through so many lifetimes.
Yeah, exactly. So I also wanted to say that with that is I always think a great place to start is how Nicole taught me about crystals. And we told you guys in the crystals, herbs, and intentions. If one's standing out for you, start paying attention to it. Like you hear the name and you're like, what's that? Or you see them, you think they're pretty, something like that. There's a reason they're standing out to you. So like watch for dreams of them. If they appear in like during a meditation or there's symbols constantly popping up that have to do with them. Sometimes you'll hear them from an inner voice that you'll think is you until you start paying attention and you're like, wait, I don't talk like that.
Yeah.
So like start pick that one is what I'm saying. It's like if you already have one that stands out a lot, like one of the first deities that ever stood out to me was Horus.
Hmm.
Um, once I got out of Christianity and into this crazy ass world that I live, horse stood out to me a lot. I even
Hmm.
got the left eye of horse tattooed on me because I would see it all the time and feel it. And like, I can't say I have the strongest connection with him anymore, but at the time I understand why he was there for me.
Hmm.
And it was really cool. So like, yeah, if you guys see that, start researching them.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, it was a little confusing because when I started with Hecate, a lot of people, it's so weird to me because a lot of people are like, oh my God, she's so scary. Be careful with working with her. There's a lot of warnings and all this stuff. And you're like, oh, I'm supposed to be scared. Like,
Right.
I never felt that way. I never felt scared. I never felt like I actually would hold myself back because I thought that I wasn't like approaching it right and I didn't know what I was doing and like all the stuff, but I knew I wanted to work with her um until basically I had to get over myself and just be like, oh, it's just other people's like perception.
Right. More projection of fear.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because that happens a lot with Lilith as well. People are very scared of her because of her mythology and a lot of the things that, come along with her. But for me, she's been extremely comforting, especially being a very sex positive person, a very like I'm into like the kink and BDSM world. And I appreciate it and I can talk to people about this. Like Lilith
Mm-hmm.
has brought me people that talk about her, and I'm like, oh, I see the connection now because it's just this world that can be scary to people and she can be scary, but she's never scared me either, where it's like, I don't know, I find her
Mm-hmm.
comforting. I find her very, very comforting that it's like there is a deity out there that's not all light and love. And it really
Right.
fits me very well, you know?
Well, and Lilith is one of those people that has a very complicated history or past. I mean, even being the number one woman shamed by actually the Torah, I think, because it's in Jewish mythology.
She's Jewish, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jewish mythology.
I mean, even God punished her or whatever, right? Like, if you don't get back here right now, we're gonna.
Submit, submit. And she's
All
like,
right.
fuck that shit.
She said, "Get fucked," is what
Get
she said.
fucked.
Uh
He said, well, I will
huh.
punish you. She said, I'd like to see you try.
I know. I sent you that one thing on Lilith through TikTok. Man, I love that woman.
Yeah, me too. There's a person on TikTok, if I can find her while we're talking.
I think it's
She's
Ilion.
amazing.
Oh man, she's just so good.
So while Nicole's looking for that, because I do think she's a great person if you're into Jewish Christian mythology, all of that, she's a great person to listen to too, because she has a whole different view on it. Um, but so once you've chosen a deity or they've chosen you, you start to build a relationship, right? And then you need to like we keep saying, you need to learn more about them, their symbols, objects they like, flowers, herbs, colors, things
Mm-hmm.
like that, because then you can go into two pathways. You could either add that to your altar, but keep in mind your altar is a working space. So some people find it easier to make like a shrine because it adds a little bit more flexibility to where you can give offerings, but it's not a working space. So do your research on what's better for you. Of course, we're going to say this a lot this episode. Do your freaking research.
Absolutely. You have to do the research. It's the only way to it's the only way to really connect with something that's beyond yourself. If you do the research, and it's your only way to not get tricked by somebody else, like pretending they are who you think they are. And then you're
Yeah,
working with this trickster god, and then all of a sudden you're out there doing shit that you shouldn't be doing.
right. Well, and keep in mind, guys, this isn't something that you are going to start guns blazing and then lose interest in a couple weeks, because then you're still going to have this connection floating around you. And you either want a strong connection or you want to end the connection, because they're gonna like that deity or that energy is going to be floating around you all the time. So even any of your workings, it's still going to be there. It's kind of like clearing out your subconscious before you do ritual
Mm-hmm.
magic so that it's clear. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have this connection just kind of laying to the white wayside, that's going to be thrown out when you throw your magic out.
Yeah, and you don't want that kind of impurities in your magic. The whole reason we're doing this is to be clear enough to get what we want without all the dirt and grime that goes along with it, right? So when you throw
Yes.
your whole magic out there, you don't want all those
You don't want some weak connection that's sitting back here that you started but you
mm-hmm,
didn't fulfill, nor did you end it properly. That's
mm-hmm,
going to go with your intentions and you don't know about it and you're questioning what the fuck happened.
right. That's when your magic goes sideways or
Yep.
gets a little flavor to it, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Get some spice.
So, okay, so this lady is called, I know her name is Lilian. I forgot. But it's Twitchy Witchy. So TIWTCHY.witch.
Cool.
And
Definitely.
sometimes she turns into a cat.
Yeah. That's what made me start following her. Is the
I
first video I
know.
watched. She was like, sometimes a cat. And I was like, I like you. I like you a lot. So once you guys create your shrine or your altar, you can start making offerings to them and you can start making small commitments, right? Never make too big of a commitment that you can't fulfill. Like keep that in mind. Like you want to start simple. Like food and drink is also an easy way. Burning an incense in their altar is an easy way. Lighting a candle for them for a while and like thinking about them. Those kinds of offerings to deities are really easy ways to start creating that energetic connection, right? Without it
Mm-hmm.
being something that feels like you're doing too much to start, like an hour long this, or you got to cook this food every day to make it for them for this. Like it can be a lot at first and overwhelming. And that's what I'm talking about when I say like you'll lose interest in a couple weeks because it's too overwhelming because you went guns a blazing and now you've lost all
Yeah.
of your motivation and
Yeah.
you're
You
done. So
shot your load.
you're done.
You're done. You
So
could
that's,
even, a lot of times, you could even just simply get a picture of them and meditate on that picture and see what comes up because they'll start communicating with you.
yes.
And that's ultimately what you want.
Yes, absolutely. Because you guys think about it, like you could start getting knowledge from them, things that you can't see that they
Mm-hmm.
can, different
Mm-hmm.
pathways you could go down. And like that's another thing too, is like you want to make sure you know them very well before you start making any commitments or promises to them. Because like Nicole has said a couple times this podcast, some deities are tricksters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're gonna try to get you to do shit that you're not comfortable doing. And I'm not saying like some eater not gonna tell you to kill anybody, but I mean, like, it's not
Well,
that
and
serious.
if they do, they're not a deity. If they're not going to tell you their name, they're not a deity. They're
Mhm.
playing. There's something about things playing with that kind of stuff.
Yes, exactly. So it's like try starting small, do some small
Mm-hmm.
stuff, start
Mm-hmm.
building that connection until you can get to know them, you have a better connection with them, you can start to understand them, and then you can keep going from there.
Mm-hmm.
Is the best advice I could give for somebody that wants to start.
This is
Um,
why the research is so important.
so important
Mm-hmm.
because also you guys like that bullshit that's just like, a couple sentences long about somebody. Are you gonna read a you say there was an article about myself, Nicole, and you only read two sentences. Do you think you're gonna know us?
Right.
I guess that's the best example I have because you want to find really good content. Like books are going to be amazing,
Yeah.
articles and continued articles, or somebody on TikTok who's very knowledgeable about it that has like, a playlist of videos about this deity or something. That can
Mm-hmm.
also be a great space because if they're currently working with them, who knows, some of the things might not resonate with you and some of them might.
Mm-hmm.
There's pathways for everything, right? And everybody.
Oh, definitely. That's for sure.
So, some other things you can do with the deity is try meditating, journaling, divination, and keep in mind, like, we are all different and we may work with the same deity different. There's no one right way or wrong way. And also for you as a person, as you get stronger in your pathway in your own workings, your whole working with them could change. Like they might
Mm-hmm.
want it to change. So, like, just keep in mind change is okay and it's probably going to be consistent within this.
Right, because as you're working with them, they could either come out and go back in, like how you start working out with one deity and then you move on to it. It just it evolves into another deity. There's no good or bad with that. Think of it, I guess, more of a student teacher kind of relationship.
Beautiful. Yes, like a senpai.
Right, right. And they know it. They know all of it.
Right.
Um And I guess there was a little controversy on whether you should reach out or they should reach out. Some people, I think, might believe that you can only be approached by a deity, you shouldn't approach a deity. And I think that's all rubbish, and people are just trying to, I don't know, make it exclusive.
Kind of reminds me of like the whole thing that I don't like when people say, well, you're only supposed to be gifted a tarot card. You're not set. You're supposed to buy your own. You're not supposed to buy your
Yeah,
own deck. And I'm like,
yeah.
bukkake. That's bukkake.
Well, those are those things where like people want it to be elite and
Yeah.
like they
Like,
want it to be like not for you, not for everybody. You're not allowed to do this. Not
yeah.
everybody's special like me. And it's that's no good. Nobody likes that. Set boundaries with your deity. Like I might not want to see a full body apparition standing in my house.
Most people don't. It's pretty scary.
So set boundaries with these guys and say, hey, and ask for signs. Like the get validation of like, I want to see blah, blah, blah. Um, and that will help establish the connection between you two.
Yeah, dude, and be patient. Like this shit doesn't happen overnight for most people. Sometimes it does, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it usually doesn't. And so like don't give up hope if, after a week of you doing the little simple offerings and trying to make this connection with them, if you're not getting any big answers yet. Maybe you are and you're just not aware of it.
Or maybe that's not the deity for you.
Or
It
maybe
might be a
it's not.
different deity.
Yeah.
Um, Remember this is what the research would be like if I'm asking for Hecate. Now I need to get her for my offerings would be like red wine and pomegranate seeds and dogs, a snake skin. Like I have a lot of snake skin. So I put that out for Hecate. Um Pet my dog even. It's a good way to be like connecting with hate with Hecate doing that.
Hades also, I felt that try to creep out.
Yeah, he did. He's
Hades
trying.
also, he's like, hey, me
Hey,
too, me
hey,
too.
hey. I know Persephone's in here too. Like me.
Me, what about me? She likes snakes.
She likes snakes, she likes dogs. They all like dogs. They all of them. They all like dogs. Oh, you know who else I've had reach out to me, which is why I kind of have this ring, and I mess up her name because she's a Greek or Egyptian god of the cats. Not I'm
Beset?
so not Basset. Uh s- it starts with an S.
Sekhmet?
Sekhmet.
Sekhmet? I'm
Yes.
probably not saying that right.
Sekhmet. Sekhmet. Something like
I'm
that.
pretty sure it's Sehkmat. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure Sehkmat. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but yeah.
No. But she's one of the ones, and she's got a crazy like backstory. So I looked hers up a couple times. Very bloody, very warrior type of um goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. Just remember you're treating this person like your nana. You're treating this person like your mother. You're treating this person like somebody that you hold in very high regards because their feelings can get hurt too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so a lot of the times the gods that we have will come in and break some structures down in our lives because we don't need it. And then they wanted to help us build it back up. So if you start working with a deity and you notice some shit goes down, be trust the process, have faith that who you're working with is in your best interest. So like if that friend you thought was a friend isn't calling you back or is making a big stink about something, this is where the deity might be helping you to get rid of or really notice the toxicity or how this isn't in your highest good and will destroy and deconstruct these parts of your life that need to be looked at because they're old and stagnant. Um, somebody was talking about how it's almost also like when you ask for help with a deity, once you establish the connection, once you have you uh they become like working partners where like it's almost like a coworker. So if I have a point in my life where I'm starting to get super overwhelmed and I need help, especially what I really like about it is that it's immediate. For me, I started working with angels long ago before anything else because for me it was a very easy connection. And I remember at some point when I started working with angels, I was doing hair and this poor girl walks in and she's got the extensions in her hair and they nobody taught her how. Young girl, she got her senior pictures in like a week or something. um some hairdresser put all these extensions in, didn't really teach her how to take care of them. She had a huge rat nest in the back.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't even get like I legit worked on this girl, and I mean like 17, 16, 17. So like I'm trying not to make her cry either. Like I'm trying to do so I remember like 2.5 hours in, I was like I almost gave up. But I was like, hold on, let's take a break. You guys go get some food, snacks, whatever, because we were working in the mall. So go walk around, get some food, get some snacks, come back here. We'll meet in about 5, 10 minutes and we'll carry on. So I went outside, smoked a cigarette, was like, and at this point, I didn't know any names of angels. I just all of them. I was like, please, please help me get through this hair. Please help me like know the right things to unravel. Please help me. Just I need your help with this. I need to get through this because I don't want to cut her hair off. And sure enough, went back in, and it did take me another 2 hours to get it out, but we got that bitch out and it was great. Like,
That's
it was
awesome.
almost like instantly that it happened where I could get it, like I was getting progress. There was more progress being made than less progress, you know? Like I felt
Yeah.
I was getting somewhere. So that's really how easy that, once you start and have this like connection with them, how easy they can come in and help you get through these hard parts of our lives that and it doesn't matter. You don't have to pick and choose either. Like this was just a lady's hair, right? Um, it's not about like, well, I shouldn't ask a deity for this because all I'm doing is this. Like that's how we start to overthink things. Start working with them. So, because this is also establishing a connection and a friendship with them.
Hmm.
And that's what you want. You want them to be comfortable.
Yeah.
At least I do. I really like them to be comfortable. I always know they're there. Um, I can ask them anything or what, I just always know they're there and working through me at the best points that they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, like when you try to pick and choose what you want them for, it's kind of like you being the CEO of your life again, and then instead of like, letting the universe take you in the place that you need to go, you start picking and choosing, and then you're in a place you don't want to be, but you don't know how you got there. It's because
Yeah.
you're trying to be the CEO of them, and like you also got to remind yourself, remember that these energies aren't like once you make a connection with a god or a goddess or a deity in general, you will know. It is not something that's taken lightly. Every single time I've ever made connections with them, it has been big connections, not like
Hmm.
something that's minuscule that just like a little thought pops in my head and that's it. It's always been for me something that has been huge. And it's like Nicole said, you want to respect those energies. So you have to understand that like it's not just small energy you're working with. Goddess and God energy is very intense usually for most
Hmm.
people,
Right.
especially if you've never experienced it before. It can be very intense. Um, so it's like one of those things you have to remind yourself that it's not something minuscule, like it's not something to take light in the way of like, dude, they're their own energies. And if you think you're the only person they're working with, you're not. But time is not linear. So keep that in mind too. Like they
Hmm.
can work with multiple people, but there has been eons of thinking about them and energy given
Hmm.
to them. And like angels, they are the same thing. There has been they come from a whole nother dimension, dude. Like you got to keep all this stuff in mind that it's like, wow, you're coming to help me. Like that's so cool. And then like remember being thankful and appreciative and like actually
Yeah.
nurturing the relationship.
Hmm. Yeah, because you don't want to take it for granted. Nobody likes that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, even like, um, I remember watching, did you watch the Sandman one? Was it Sandman? Yeah, it was Sandman.
Oh, with no, I haven't watched that yet.
So it's in the beginning. They conjure Sandman and they have this whole thing, right? It's a ritual, people in robes, and they conjure the Sandman. And when they did that, I was like, I am never invoking a god ever. It was so the way they filmed it felt to me so obtrusive. Like it would be
Intrusive.
like intrusive because it was like he was standing there talking to a friend and then all of a sudden he would disappeared and was thrown into this circle and where it wiped him out and everything. And I was like, at that moment, I was like, wow. Okay, so note to self, never command, never to like, I mean, it's so rude. It was so rude. When I watched that part of it, I was like, That was entirely rude. Like, no wonder you give them candy and alcohol when they come, because just to travel, I'm like, oh, here are the amenities that I have for you. Because it just seems so intrusive. It was devastating for me to watch it. And I didn't expect that, but like,
And add to that is like, keep in mind, you guys, boundaries and commands are different, right? Like having a boundary with a god or goddess isn't a bad thing, or a deity, because like
mm-mm.
one of the gods that has continually come to me and Nicole, I have a very strong boundary with, because he just likes to pop up in my fucking face sometimes. And he's a little bit tad bit scary. Okay. I appreciate him and I think he's amazing. And like I highly respect him, but like he's a little scary. He's really scary. Like his energy just makes the back of my neck creep. And oh yeah, he just, I appreciate him. He's an awesome guy. He's done a lot of great things for us. But the homeboy is a trickster too, and he likes to scare you,
He
and
likes
he
to
scares
scare
me.
you.
So we have the boundary of no popping up. I only want soft hellos.
I want soft hellos.
I need soft hellos. I don't like getting ran up on. Makes me want to run.
I appreciate him so much, because like he did come to us right before we went to New Orleans, and I do feel like he gave us a nice little tour of New Orleans and stuff like that. I do appreciate him a lot.
Yeah, he showed us a whole different side that I have already kind of touched, but like the spiritual side of like, hi, there's people here that need help. And
Yeah,
for those of you that don't know what we're talking about Papa Lagba. He's the coolest, but he's very scary.
he can be. He can be very scary. But the funny thing is, you just got to give him candy and rum and a cigar.
Smoke a cigar, dude, in his
Yeah,
honor. He's
that's
happy
what
as
we
hell.
did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's way more fun. Not that he's not fun, but Jesus, his energy is so feral and savagery sometimes that it's like, ah, I know you're here, just leave me alone for a second. I want the soft creep in, not the holy shit, you're right here feeling.
Yeah. He loves that shit though. He
He
loves the
does.
way, it's just the way you respond that he loves so much.
I can't help it either, because he always gets me in the times where it's like that jump scare kind of shit. One night, you guys, we were at a class at Rocky's house. We're watching some scary shit too, which was
Oh
cool. And
yeah.
then I usually
Yeah.
don't get scared very easily. And I look
Mm-hmm.
up and he was in the window, and I got that like, oh, feeling inside where my heart dropped a little. And I was like,
Son of a bitch.
and it's like, you can almost hear him, feel him laughing. And I'm just like, why you do this? Why you do this?
Is this entertaining for you?
He's like, yes.
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 Yes, it is.
Yeah. So again, boundaries are a good thing to have. Because like Nicole said, you don't want to see apparition in the middle of your room at the middle of the night when you wake up because you just woke up a little bit to turn. It's not fun. You don't want
Right.
that like, holy shit, somebody's now standing behind me. I feel like somebody's watching me and there's no one around feeling.
Yeah. They like to do that to me in the parking lot at night when I'm walking out by myself. I'll almost feel like I need to run to my car.
Papa always comes to me at work, and his favorite fucking thing to do is, and I mean, I say it because like he's kind of like an uncle slash brother that likes to fuck with me sometimes, but he really
Mm-hmm.
does offer a lot of awesome things. But like he likes to do it when I'm at work by myself and nobody else is in the building, and I feel like I have to absolutely run to my car for safety. But then I get this feeling where I'm like, oh, it's you.
Yeah. That's how it goes too, because you're like, "Ugh,
I should
stop
have
it.
known. I know. I'm like, why you do this?
Ugh. Ugh.
Seriously, what the hell?
But I appreciate it. It's very flattering that they want to work with us. I think that's very awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Even
Yeah,
if you have to put up with that bullshit.
yeah, it's fun. Let's be honest, I do like it. It makes me giggle sometimes because I'm like, son of a bitch, I shouldn't have known that. And then I start laughing
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, it's almost like I wish I could get you back. It's like a game of prank wars, but I
Yeah.
can't prank him because how do you prank a deity?
I don't know. That's a good question.
One day.
One day I'll learn.
One
Watch
day
out.
you're gonna think it's rum and it's gonna be water.
How you like them apples?
Seriously. Um, I only have a few more things, and it's just some things you can do to start like tapping into. And like one of them is, of course, quiet mind meditation, which is hard to do, but
Mm-hmm.
you can usually get a lot. I would say go to your safe space in your head and chill out there, and maybe something will come to you. Like mine's a meadow with like a little creek, and I'll sit there sometimes, then things will pop up, people will pop up, and that's a great way for me to have those connections or start them.
Mm-hmm.
There are guided meditations out there to meet deities as well. Those are really
Yeah.
cool. I like this one. I've never done it, but I am curious for my magic workers. Charging a cup of water in the honor of that deity and then drinking it down.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Isn't that so cool? Why have we not thought of
Yeah.
that?
Why have we not thought of that?
I freaking love that one. For my babies that love their tarot cards, divination, do a reading about them.
Mm-hmm.
Ask your spirit guides, your angels specifically, to be there with you to help guide the divination, to let you know if they think that it's going to be a good deity for you to work with.
Pendulums are a good one too.
Um, Doing the meditative creative activities like painting, coloring, playing music, dancing. I love those ones. Because
Those ones are fun.
we love arts and crafts in this household.
We do love arts and crafts.
I say this one a lot, but dream work, ask for them in a dream. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of us dream. We are just unaware that we do, let alone it's hard to remember them. And it takes work to get your dreams to remember them and actually work for you. But um, dreams can be really powerful and you could have a whole thing come through. So um, another one that I saw that I liked too was cooking food from that deity's culture to try to connect with them.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, hey, I'm just doing this one time because I would like to start the connection, and like, don't commit minutes yet. Not until you're further in your workings, because like they would be too much to cook food from their culture every day or every week, or you know what I mean. And if it isn't too
Right.
much, then hell yeah, do it, dude. But
Right.
I thought that was cool too, because I was like, man, I love me some Greek food, dude.
Dude. Wow. Is there food that we've met that we haven't liked?
Spicy food.
Well,
Spicy.
spicy. We don't like spicy.
Well, we can't do spicy. We're babies.
Our babies.
Um, Another one I thought was really cool is going for a walk in a place that seems relevant to that specific deity. Now, some deities might not have a place that feels relevant, but some deities do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to meet with a nature god or goddess. Get out in nature, dog.
Right. Moon goddess. Like Hecate, you want to go into the outside, you could go to the 3 point. Why can't I think of anything today?
Because we are
Crossroads.
exhausted.
It's Crossroads.
Oh, Crossroads. I was going to say
Yeah.
that's for Papa too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let me give a quick warning out there just from my own personal experience with Papa Lagba. He's somebody who chose us, and I would say he is somebody who is, if you want to try to work with him, definitely do your research, because there are some gods out there that are like tricksters too, and it's not in a bad way as you get to know them, but it can feel bad at first and it can feel very scary.
Right.
There are some nature spirits out there that can be very protective of their
Intimidating.
area and
Yeah.
intimidating. Yeah, they feel like that feral savage that I was talking about. That can also be kind of scary. So just make sure you do all your research so you're kind of prepared for some of this stuff. Lilith being the quote unquote mother of demons, some things sometimes when she's like, hello, wake up, what are you doing? It's called what's the confusion word I'm looking for? Demonic confusion, I guess, is the words I'm looking for. It sounds way scarier than it is, but it will be like these flashes of images that are like fucking crazy. And I'm like, and then I'll start seeing her horns, and then I'll start seeing black like ravens, and then and then what always gets me, the fucking apple with a bite in it. And I'm like, fuck, Lilith, dude, okay, I'm sorry. Like, but like, you just need to know these things about these, like,
Mm-hmm.
the entities, so that you're not terrified of them. So keep that in mind when you go walking places. You might get scared. And I'm done.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
It's not to scare you guys. It's just as a fair warning. Because like Papa Lagba was like he was the most intense, I think, so far, for me. Because like when we found out who he was, what I was seeing, like which we've told you guys this story before, but it came from a house cleansing. That's how he got, in connection with us. And I remember telling Nicole, I don't know who or what this is, but it's scary.
Yeah.
It was really shaking me up. And now obviously it's more jokey and scary than it is like terrifying, but it's kind of their nature.
Right. Well, they're deities.
Yeah. It's like if a fucking angel was right in front of you guys, you probably, one, it's not going to look like a freaking human. And two, you're probably going to be fucking scared because the energy is going to be so goddamn intense. You're going to be like, what the hell is this? What is this?
So they just want to, and that's the thing, is you just gotta like, if you're being called to do it, and just take your time at it,
It's not a race.
It's not. Nobody's getting a prize.
There's not an award at the end. Well, not a physical. Well,
A trophy.
trophy. Thank you. There is a reward.
There is a reward.
Words are really hard today.
Oh my God, they're so hard. We did a wedding already today. That's probably why it's hard.
Dude, we've done all the things. We went to Santa Monica. We didn't sleep. We came back. We worked. And then we worked again. And then we worked again. And then we worked again. And now we're going to work again.
Yeah. Right before I left for Santa Monica, I worked until midnight. As soon as I got back, worked until midnight. I was like, what the?
I worked 2 out of the 4 days I was supposed to work. And then on top of it, did 2 weddings on the other days. And I'm like, I'm fucking sleeping in tomorrow.
Good luck. I gotta work tomorrow.
Need sleep.
Need sleep all the way through.
Conjure the Sandman.
Oh, dude, that's a great.
Could you just put me to sleep, please?
Give me all the pleasant dreams too. Thank you.
Yeah, seriously. My dreams have been bizarre lately. So yeah, that's, I guess, you guys, before we keep trailing on into other ventures, that's deities.
That's deities.
And that's
so don't be afraid.
Give you.
Don't be afraid. Do your research. Set up boundaries. Be respectful. Don't
Keep
be
it
an
simple.
ass. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Start. Choose one.
Right. And offerings can be anything from like you just sending them energy. Super simple. You could set out some flowers for them.
Yep.
Fruit. If you really want to set out a whole plate of food for them, it's really not that complicated. You don't have to make it complicated.
Dude, light an incense for them. It's that simple too. Like,
absolutely,
this is in your honor, and I hope that you enjoy this fragrance and this energy from this incense. Click, boom, good to go.
Yep.
So simple. So yeah.
All right, that's all
what we got for you.
That's all we got for you on deities.
That's all she freaking wrote, man.
That's right. That's right. If you have any questions, contact us.
Yeah, and if we can't answer it, you guys, we know people.
We know people.
We got friends in low places, man.
We got friends in low places.
Oh man, Nicole and I are
what was
weird
that one
when
of
we're tired.
The friends from the other side? From the Princess
I
and
got
the Frog.
friends on the other side. Oh, I love that movie so much.
It's so good. It's such my favorite movie.
Princess Diana.
Favorite
Besides
princess.
Moana, of course.
Oh, Moana.
I know. If you guys couldn't tell, the amount of times that Nicole and I are Disney kids and now Disney adults. Now, have we gone to Disney? No. But we watched all the movies.
I watched all the movies, sang to all the movies. I
cried to every one of them.
Seriously, every single one of them tore my heart out. I don't think there was one that I was like, I didn't cry at this one. No, all of them. All of them.
Yeah, seriously.
I have a whole playlist of favorite Disney songs that I play and listen to.
Yes, she sure does. She sure does.
It's my favorite. I love it so
Uh,
much.
luckily nowadays the babies are DJs, so I can't complain because she might play one Phineas and Ferb song, but other than that, it's usually pretty great music.
Come on. She was so excited the last day of her school. She was she's like, this is appropriate. This song is appropriate for this day. And I didn't catch on what she was saying. And she played Phineas and Ferb, but I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die right now.
Dude, we say
It's
this often. There's times that she reminds me she's still like young, and that's it, where I'm like, she freaking loves that shit. She eats it up.
oh my God, Phineas and Ferb was great. Have you watched them? It's so
No, no.
it was the one I was like, it's the only one that I was like, hey, you want to watch Phineas and Ferb?
Other than Disney. Disney. Walt Disney.
All right, buddies, that's all I got for you.
I would tell you what the next episode is, you guys, but I think we might be switching it up a little bit. So I guess you will have to stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, because the baby wants to come on.
Yeah, we have to switch some things up. So we
Mhm.
will let you guys, well, you guys will find out what the next one is when it comes out. So peace out, homies.
Peace out, homies. Bye, heathens.